Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and thank you so much for attending this lecture on Pokemon biology. Joining me here in the classroom today is, of course, my wonderful teaching assistant, Mr. Curtis. Mr. Curtis, if you could please say hello to everybody.
Hello, Professor. Hello, Professor. Hello, Corbin.
Hi.
Happy to be in class.
Why are you? I see
my
you're sitting in the
dance.
back of the room today, Mr. Curtis.
Mr. Curtis, what on earth are you doing?
Is there a reason for that?
Well, I was just doing my dance, my happy dance to be in class here. I'll move up. Hold on. I'm moving up to front.
Thank you, and please take a seat.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm ready. I'm here.
Okay, great. Also joining us in class today is, of course, our trainer in training, young Corbin. If you could please say hello.
What's going on? What's going on, guys? Welcome. Good to be here. Happy to be in class as always. Excited to learn about a brand new Pokemon, and I'm excited to get my trainer's license at the end of the week. Let's go.
I mean, maybe some people could the argument could be made that we are learning about all Pokemon today.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and I'll let you think on that. That's a little hint going forward.
I should have packed a bigger lunch. This is gonna be a long lesson.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of we're not really learning about all Pokemon, but kind of in a way we are learning about all Pokemon today. Wink, wink, wink. But I'll let you think on that. Before we get into the lesson in earnest, I do have a Gengar mail here that I would very much like to read.
Yes.
Sure.
Unless Mr. Curtis, would you like to?
Oh, wait. Hold on. Before you read that one, I got one right here. I listen. I know that, some of our students like to send emails to the professor, okay? But let's be honest, I go through all of his mail, okay? And
he does curate it for me.
That's right. I mean, all of his mail, private, the ones that go to his house, also, the ones that come to class.
I'm an open book, so it really doesn't bother me.
And this one in particular struck a chord with me. I've got a little bone of pick, but I'm going to read it to you now. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. This is from you'll find out. Hello, Professor Jacob, Mr. Curtis, and I think the other one's name is
Corbin.
Bebop, Cobop.
I think it's Cop Bob. I'm seeing it as well.
Cop Bob.
Looks
Cop
like
Bob.
Bebop. Are we sure we should let you read this? I'm not sure. I'm immediately regretting.
He can't even read the silly name well.
It's Beep Bop Cop Bop. Oh wait, no, it was Corbin.
That's right. There you go. You got it.
Well, anyway, I am Gengar mailing you today to tell you that I think to test Bebop. And
No, it's Corbin. You just said it.
Bebop sounds right.
Mr. Curtis's knowledge, you can make them create a new regional variant for Pokemon that you are talking about. So that the way that it works is that Professor picks a type and the students create a region where the Pokemon would make sense for it to adapt to this type. Now I have a question for Mr. Curtis. How many shiny Spinarakes do you get in a single clutch? And how many of them are prime Spinarakes? Okay, so easy question. About 0.5. You get about half a Spinarak per clutch.
And then you have to sew them together after you've gotten two clutches.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yes, it's a very easy surgery. I've done it so many times now. You just sometimes it's lengthwise. See, that's the really tricky part is you got to find the reciprocal Spinarak in a different clutch.
What if you got if in back-to-back clutches you got two of the front halves of a Spinarak, of a shiny Spinarak?
Oh.
Right. I mean, so you gotta hatch a bunch of clutches at the same time.
Oh,
and
I see.
And you match them up. And then you get them to once you find ones that match, you just splice and dice, baby. That's how it works. And then
you just toss away the extra pieces that you don't.
So it's not really. I thought a clutch meant multiple. So in each clutch, there's only one. There's only a half of a Spinarak in each clutch. That's all a clutch means.
A half of no. There's several Spinaraks in every clutch, but half of one Spinarak is shiny in each clutch.
Wait. So is it a full Spinarak, but only half of it is shiny, or it's like half of a Spinarak.
No, it's a full Spinarak, but only like half of the Spinarak is shiny. And that's part of the trick, right? Because if it's like the thorax is shiny on one and then the abdomen shiny on the other, you gotta like, splice and dice a little bit.
You're the Spinarak expert here, but don't they just have a head and a torso?
I mean,
I don't think. I think there's only 2 segments to a Spinarak.
I mean, depends on how many parts you count. But anyway, my point is, you just slice and dice them.
Okay,
and,
but how many are prime Spinaraks though? Have you ever gotten a shiny prime Spinarak?
Not at the same time.
Of course, no.
Never.
But that one happens even more rare. I'd say 1 out of every 6 clutches. With each clutch, of course, having about 50 Spinaraks in it. So, that's about every 300 Spinaraks.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But he goes on to say they go on to say Spinarak is my second favorite besides Machamp. And this is where really it grinds my Spinarak silk here. P.S. Prof, don't read this part because Spinaraks are the scum of the earth.
Whoa.
And why the heck did Arceus create them? And this is really hard to read.
He's seething. He's literally seething.
Wow, UK is shaking.
They should only be foster Pokemon. They are almost as useless as Magikarp, and I'm just using Curtis for his gold stars.
Wow.
Sincerely, your friend Malichi.
Malachi?
Malichi?
I don't think it's Malichi.
I think it's Malachi.
Malachi? PP.
Probably Malachi.
I think it's
actually.
Malachi.
Now that I think about
Malichi.
it, I'm going to guess Malachi.
Oh my god.
It's PP, that's what it is, because that's what I think of you. You are a garbage trainer?
Whoa, okay. You can't bash the students.
Let's not insult the students.
That includes me.
I haven't
You cannot
gotten
bash
around
me.
to teaching you this yet, but as a professor, as a teacher, we should never insult our students, all right?
Right, but come on, Malachi, not the smartest
Shut
idea.
up,
You emailed
Corbin.
it-
Oh my god, you're so
what?
dumb.
Okay.
You would never get one of my golden stars.
I was about to ask, did they get a gold star, or did Malachi earn it?
-1 golden stars.
Oh, you already heard that, Malachi. You owe Mr. Curtis a gold star, so we'll be waiting on that.
Yes, please.
But thank you so much for sending in that Gengar mail. I do actually think that your testing idea, your assignment idea for creating a new regional variant was very, very interesting. We might try to include that in something going forward.
Okay, stop, it's Curtis.
Actually, I do kind of like that idea, but I no. I wish you never sent that email in.
You're gonna hurt your voice, Mr. Curtis. We have a long lesson to get through, and we're only just starting. Speaking of which, does anybody know who we're talking about today? Let me give you a hint. Again, I gave you another hint today.
What type is it?
It is a normal type, although it may have the potential to be a lot of other types.
Oh, Snorlax. Wait,
No.
Eevee.
You know, I guess with that second hint, it did kind of lend itself to being an Eevee. But no, it's not Eevee.
Wait, is it Ditto?
Yes, we are learning about Ditto today, otherwise known as the Transform Pokémon for a very good reason.
Love that. Okay.
Has anybody seen a Ditto before?
I have not. I've heard they're actually kind of rare, right?
They're a little bit rare. They do tend to hang out in very specific locations, and where they do hang out, there's a lot of them. But yeah, they are fairly rare. So I wouldn't be surprised. And honestly, you may have seen one without even knowing that you had seen one.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, then let's see what the real Ditto looks like.
Okay, all right. So this is a Ditto.
Oh.
Professor, you just
Is that
you just
gum? Did you throw out gum? Chewed gum? What is this?
I can understand the confusion. No, this is not gum. As you can see, it's moving around, and it does have a face.
Oh, I mean, it's kind of... It is kind of cute in a very strange way, but something about the eyes to me. It has very soulless eyes.
Oh, I think the eyes are adorable. I love its eyes, honestly. So its eyes...
They're just black beads.
Again, they're very small, like black pinpricks. pretty much. And could somebody describe its mouth for us?
Just like a little slit, basically in the goo.
Okay, but it's like a nice little smile.
It's a little smile.
It's like smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Curtis, can
And
you
I
say
love how it's
something
got,
else? Can you say like a line or something? I feel like saying slit just doesn't sound right.
Response, Mr. Curtis.
I mean, it's just a little cut, a little cavern, in the slime. That's what it is.
Okay. But yeah, it has a really creepy, weird, tiny little mouth. It's just,
And it's got cute little arms and little hands. It looks like it just.
It does not have hands. It does not have arms. It has bulbous sides.
Little nubbins that kind of look like arms.
It has nubbins, yeah, little nubbins, and that's literally it, guys. It's literally, if you've never seen this Ditto before, it's a pink blob with little nubbins, 2 beady black eyes that are really small, and then a weird little grimace. That's it. Very long.
Not grimace. It's not a grimace.
It's a wide smile.
It's a slit on its face that looks like a smile.
See, it feels like you can't just say it's a slit on a face. It just feels.
Why not?
It just sounds prejudiced. I don't know why. I don't like it. I don't like the way it sounds.
Okay.
It feels
Fine.
like you're judging the Ditto a little bit.
I mean, it's a good. It does the job. It's good. It's a good one. So I mean, hey.
Ditto, 10 out of 10 face slit. Good job.
Everybody has those words that they don't like, and I guess slit is one of those.
Yeah,
for
it's
Corbin.
uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't like it.
Okay, but so Ditto does look pretty bland to start with, but Ditto can be so much more. By the way, did we want to give this Ditto a name before we start really taking it for a spin?
Ooh. Yes, I want to name. You know what? You know what I want to do? I want to name it.
You want to name it?
Yeah, I want to name it.
Okay.
Okay, great. I just asked if you wanted to do that. I'm glad you do.
Professor, I think I'm ready to name it. I want to name it Lucha.
Oh, very interesting name.
Lucha.
You know what? I think it works. It's a great name, a great, powerful, strong name.
Yes.
Which is perfect for this Ditto. Because even though Ditto looks, or Lucha looks like a little blob right now, it can be so much more. Is there anything, I don't know. Ditto, could you see Corbin, young Corbin there?
Hi, what's up?
I would like you to transform into Corbin, please.
Wait, no, it can't transform into a human. Oh my god.
Yeah, look
Is
at
that
Perfect.
me? Is that me? Oh my, it's repeating me. It's repeating me verbatim. Oh my, it's repeating me. It's repeating me verbatim. I'm freaking out. How is it doing that?
Well,
I'm freaking out. How is it doing that?
Something about its cellular structure. It can rearrange to make it look like anything. And I mean anything. So it looks like you right now, right?
I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like this.
Stop repeating me.
Stop repeating me.
No, you stop.
No, you stop.
No, you stop.
No, you stop.
No.
Oh my god. Shut up. Shut up.
But
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Gotcha. No.
The pencil that you're holding instead.
Wait, what?
So Ditto, transform to that pencil, please.
Oh.
See,
What?
now it's the pencil. It can be anything. Be the whiteboard.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. And while this is amazing for us here in the classroom, it's a little bit boring for the students at home. So I'll say, let's do one more. If you could try to imitate Mr. Curtis, please, if you could.
What? Why is it seizing up? It's seizing up.
Wow.
What's wrong?
It's like
Lucha, are you okay?
I've never seen, it's doing 1,000 different forms at once.
It's like
This is
taking on the
horrifying.
form of a bunch of different Pokemon. Oh, that was a Decidueye.
It's trying to
what is it?
squeeze them all together. How is it? I don't understand.
Lucha, are you okay?
Lucha, you may want to stop. You may want to stop.
Settle down. It's okay. It's okay. Just breathe.
Lucha,
breathe.
it's okay. It's okay.
Just breathe.
You tried.
Just
You
breathe.
tried.
It's okay.
Wow. I guess we aren't the only ones that have difficulty perceiving Mr. Curtis's form.
Yeah.
My mommy always told me I was one of a kind. So it's true.
Your mommy, huh?
Yep.
Your mommy, one of your three parents,
One of your
right?
three parents.
Yep. And yes. One of my three parents.
All right. I think that was an excellent demonstration by Lucha here. Great work. We'll put you back into the Pokeball for now.
Bye, Lucha. I'll miss you. Ah, what a nice name. It sounds like the name of one of our Patreon supporters. Oh, wait, it is.
Well, funny you should mention that, Corbin. It is, actually, because that's what we do.
Aha!
We like to name our Pokemon after people who have supported the class. So if you do that, if you go to patreon.com/WWO Pokemon, and if you donate at least $5, then you can also be considered for being named, having a Pokemon named after you. There it is. That's a good way to say
that
it.
That was very smooth, Professor. Now, my question is,
you.
why are you so money hungry, Professor? Like, it's not very flattering to just beg for money.
Okay, you brought it up, Corbin. You brought it up.
Okay. All right, that's fair. Listen, by the way, if we're pronouncing it wrong, let us know, because it could be Lucia, but Lucha.
It could be Lucia, yeah.
Lucha sounds way better. No offense.
I think it's Lucia.
Lucia.
Lucia? I don't think it's Lucia.
It's Lucia.
Lucia.
Okay. Well, you know what? Feel free to correct us if we're wrong. I won't, be insulted in any way. If you tell me I'm wrong. When have I ever given that impression?
You are never wrong. Whatever.
Oh, he is always wrong.
If
how dare you?
If that's how the professor says it's pronounced, sorry, you've been pronouncing your name wrong your entire life.
Okay, enough messing around. It's time to read some of these Pokedex entries. Starting off in the Kanto region, the first entry says, capable of copying an enemy's genetic code to instantly transform itself into a duplicate of the enemy.
Oh, yo. I guess I was the enemy in that case.
Well, I mean, it could do anything. Yeah, so it can copy the enemy's genetic code somehow.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I don't know. That seems okay. Let me read this next one. Maybe this one doesn't really explain it a lot better. But it says, when it spots an enemy, its body transforms into an almost perfect copy of its opponent.
Almost perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, almost perfect. Some of these other entries say we'll see that some of the entries kind of contradict that a little bit. I mean, that happens all the time.
All right. Yeah, that's fair.
And the last one here from the Kanto region, I think, again, also does a really good job of explaining how this happens. It says, capable of reorganizing its cells to transform into an exact duplicate of its enemy.
Okay.
So there, I mean, immediately, it's contradicting what it said.
Yeah.
It is usually a shapeless blob.
Yeah. We saw that. Mr. Curtis, you got a pretty easy job this week with drawing the Pokemon.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You just wait until you see. That's all I'm saying.
I can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of nuance in Ditto's shape.
That's right.
Or yes, it can be a shapeless blob, but it's a shapeless blob with a lot of character.
A lot of personality.
I think it's going to be very hard for Mr. Curtis to capture. All right, moving on to the Johto region. The first entry says, it can transform into anything. When it sleeps, it changes into a stone to avoid being attacked.
Wow, that's kind of cool.
That's actually a smart idea.
That's very smart.
Yeah, and so it's sleeping while it does it, so it can, it doesn't need any kind of, concentration or anything, or to be conscious when it's transformed, right?
That's kind of cool. So it's like it can rest while it's actively transforming. I like that.
Right.
Yeah, which is interesting to think about. I mean, I guess so. It really makes me think that it doesn't, cause any strain on its body at all. It's just something so natural to it that it can just do it whenever.
It takes effort to pull it out of a form, basically. It could just it finds a shape that works and it's like, okay, I'm you now, and then if I want to change, I gotta make a conscious effort.
Yeah, exactly.
And once it's there, it's chill.
Which is interesting because this next entry says its transformation ability is perfect. However, if it is made to laugh, it can't maintain its disguise.
Now, let me ask you this:
How
do you make a Ditto laugh?
Do you tickle it?
Well, if it turns into a perfect replica of something, right? I assume it also has the same tickle spots as as that thing. So if it turns into you, Corbin, right? Wherever you're ticklish, the Ditto will also be ticklish.
Well, it's not okay. That's a sensory thing, though. That's individual to each person.
What about?
It's like
What about a rock?
It did say a perfect copy. I don't know what else to say.
What about a rock, though? Rocks don't have tickle spots.
That is true. So, and it's also sleeping when it does that, so it wouldn't really be able to hear you. I don't know. I maybe you have to tell it a joke,
Maybe.
a pun of some kind. Maybe it likes prop humor. I bet it does. I bet it likes prop humor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sure.
Like, I don't know. Put a plunger on your. Oh no! Put one of those arrows that makes it look like the arrow is going through your head.
Oh yeah. Loves it,
Dude, I bet it would crack up at that. It would first be like, "Oh my god, you're dead," and then you take it off, and it'd be like, "Oh, you got me."
Yeah. Tell your mom joke or something. It'll love it.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think it understands your mom jokes.
Well, you know who would? Lapras, because they're excellent in understanding human speech.
You know,
okay.
We learned that last lesson. This is a lesson about Ditto.
You spent the first 10 minutes talking about your Spinoracks.
That is true. You talk a lot about Spinarak in every lesson, Mr. Curtis.
It's so annoying.
Well, it's the best Pokemon, but I digress.
Our editor, Portia the Porygon, has to cut a lot of it.
All right, so the next entry says, we're still in the Johto region, by the way. It says, when it encounters another Ditto, it will move faster than normal to duplicate that opponent exactly.
So like a race to replicate whatever enemy is there, right?
I don't know.
That's how it seems to me. Like, it's not going to replicate the Ditto, because it is a Ditto.
Yeah, but why does it need to move faster than normal to duplicate? It says duplicate that opponent exactly. When it encounters another Ditto, it will move faster than normal to duplicate that opponent exactly.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't. That doesn't mean anything to me because
I thought it meant like there was another opponent there. Like there's a third thing in the room that it wants to duplicate, and it has to beat the other Ditto to it. But now it sounds like it is, like you said, replicating the other Ditto.
No, I mean,
but also it doesn't need to. First of all, that's definitely not what it's saying. But also, it doesn't need to beat the other Ditto to it. They can both duplicate that opponent.
Right, exactly.
Right?
So why is it trying to duplicate another Ditto? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Let's just assume that there's a third opponent
in the room
involved in this entry.
I'm so confused. Professor, please.
Sorry,
please.
I'm trying. I think it's that there's a third opponent in the room, and the Dittos. I think Dittos are just naturally competitive with each other. So it's trying to move. They're both trying to move faster to prove that they're
right.
better
But
at
it's worded
transforming.
as that opponent exactly, like referring to the other Ditto. When it encounters another Ditto, it will move faster than normal to duplicate that opponent.
Maybe. Okay, maybe it's just trying to mimic all of the motions that the other Ditto is doing, right? Because it's just a shapeless blob, right? I mean, it has a shape, but just not a consistent shape. So it's trying to conform itself super quickly to look as much like that other Ditto as possible.
Sure. I don't know why.
Yeah, this is a rough entry to try to
Professor,
parse.
my head hurts.
All right, let's move on to the Hoenn region. The first entry says, Ditto rearranges its cell structure to transform itself into other shapes. However, if it tries to transform itself into something by relying on its memory, this Pokemon manages to get details wrong.
Well, that provides more context earlier, because in Kanto, it says that it has an exact duplicate, but I think it can only do that if it's looking directly at what it's copying. If it's trying to remember something, like a specific Pokemon or a human or an object, if it's just remembering it, it's not going to be exact. But it is exact when it's looking at it. So, technically, those Pokedex entries don't contradict.
Technically, actually, they do, because the exact wording, and I'm looking at it here. You don't have this benefit. I'm just looking directly at it. It says, when it spots an enemy, its body transforms into an almost perfect copy of its opponent. So it's clearly stating that it's looking directly at the enemy. And then it makes an almost perfect copy.
I don't know. I think the professor's right, Corbin.
He just read something.
Wow, what else is new?
I know, right? All he did was read something. He's not right.
Well, I mean, it's in the Pokedex, so it is
Whatever.
true.
Whatever.
All right, the next entry says it can freely recombine its own cellular structure to transform into other life forms.
Ooh, Or inanimate objects.
We've kind of already said that, though, right?
Well, yeah, but recombine is a weird way to say it. It can freely recombine. So first, maybe that means at first the first step is to take apart all of its cellular structure, so then it can recombine them into something.
Right, maybe.
Sure.
Maybe, I don't know.
Sure.
Sure, I don't know. Let's read the next entry. This is from the Sinnoh region. It says it has the ability to reconstitute its entire cellular structure to transform into whatever it sees.
Another word for restructure or transform.
Yeah, they kind of like
Well,
took
reconstitute.
the Hoenns. Oh, yeah, go on.
Reconstitute kind of makes more sense though, because like, it's a blob when it's not in a form, but like, let's say Ditto actually has a regular form, right? It blobs itself, it unconstitutes itself, and
it constitutes and then reconstitutes.
it unconstitutes itself to be in blob form, and then it constitutes.
So the blob form is the constituted form.
No, it's the
Or
unconstituted.
no, it's the unconstituted form. Okay.
Right, and then it reconstitutes itself to match
Okay.
the new form it's trying to take.
And at that point, it's constituted.
Right.
So unconstituted, reconstituted, constituted.
Yeah, so...
So there are 3 evolutions to Ditto.
I love some reconstituted Ditto. Let me just say that.
Dillo. That's what you're going to say.
I prefer my Ditto from concentrate.
From constitute.
So yeah, it can and it also says it can transform into whatever it sees. I mean, obviously we knew that because it can transform into like a rock when it sleeps.
But it can't transform into a cloud.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it could. Why would you think that it couldn't?
I don't know. That's true. Because it can transform into Ghastly, and that's what Ghastly is. How about a singular raindrop?
Yeah, can it like make itself really, really small?
It can't transform itself into the memory of my father.
Okay, well that's just a conceptual thing.
Yeah, and it can't see that.
Well, it said anything.
It can't constitute itself into that, huh?
It said it can transform into anything, right?
I mean, it can transform into your dad as long as you bring the Mr. Mime here.
That's right.
That's not my dad. I don't know how many times I have to tell you that.
You definitely said that was your dad at least once when he was here.
I've said that is not my dad, and I'm done talking about it. Let's move on.
Okay, fine. All right, moving on to the Unova region.
They have
Professor.
something today.
Do they have an entry? Yes.
They never have an entry. This is
Well, they do now, and it says it can reconstitute its entire cellular structure to change into what it sees, but it returns to normal when it relaxes.
okay. Well, does it not relax when it sleeps then?
So BS. So actually, you're wrong, Unova,
Oh.
Yeah, that's not correct.
See,
because
Unova,
it goes to sleep as a rock.
you tried Unova, but you failed.
Maybe it's not relaxed when it sleeps. Maybe it's stressed.
Or maybe that's its natural form.
But that's what it means, though. Like if it's
Maybe
It is a rock. Ditto is a rock.
its normal form is a rock, and then it unconstitutes itself to become the blob, and then it reconstitutes itself to become another Pokemon.
Oh, okay.
Its
sure.
true
So wait, is it-
form we have discovered today of Ditto is a rock. Thank you, everybody. Claps
So it's
all
a
around.
rock type.
No, I'm not clapping for you.
Oh.
So it's a rock type then, is what we're saying.
Well, no, it's not. Well, I guess.
Well, it is naturally a rock.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the Alola region. There's nothing from the Kalos region, unfortunately. The first one says it can reorganize its cells to make itself into a duplicate of anything it sees. The quality of the duplicate depends on the individual.
The individual Ditto.
Yeah, not.
Or
the,
I thought it meant the individual person, like that it was copying.
Yeah, you have to have a strong will for it to copy you perfectly.
Well, it did a pretty good job with me, and that's not the case.
I think there's something to be said about like.
I am very weak-willed. You can tell me to do anything, and I'll do it.
That's right.
I'm sorry, Mr. Curtis, I interrupted you.
Oh, that's okay, Professor. You talk when you want to talk. I have nothing to say if it interrupts.
Same for me. As the former class president with retired benefits, I can also
Nope.
interrupt at any.
No.
He's still protected by the Saffron City Secret Service.
Wait, we have that? Nobody ever told me about that. I get protected?
No, not anymore. I mean, we slashed that button.
Wait, hold on. Is Mr. Curtis the Secret Service? Because he does stand outside my window sometimes.
I mean, yeah, but my number one priority, of course, is the professor. So
Gotcha.
And he's not really keeping you safe, but more of, keeping tabs on you.
Mhm.
That's weird. Don't do it.
Oh, you heard him, Curtis. He said stop, so now you gotta stop.
No, like that's gonna stop me.
Sure. Okay. The next entry says, with its astonishing capacity for metamorphosis, it can get along with anything. It does not get along well with its fellow Ditto.
So, it can't get along with anything.
It can get along with anything. Actually, wait, no, I changed my mind. It cannot get along well with its own self.
Guys, Ditto can get along with anything except for the things it doesn't get along with.
Listen, there's two things in this world. One is things that Ditto can get along with, and the other things that Ditto can't get along with, all right?
And the first one is everything. And the second one
Is all the rest.
is all the rest, which is just Ditto.
Which is just Ditto, which can be anything. Do you think Dittos know when there's another Ditto? Like,
Oh,
if it's
yeah,
just like
yeah.
a pencil,
They
it's
gotta
like,
smell it out or something.
he's like, I hate you.
I'm sorry,
I
what?
hate you, stupid dumb Ditto.
Wait, did you say it does what to it now?
They gotta sniff it out or sense it by some other means.
Sniff it out. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, Mr. Curse. Do you think that Dittos can't smell? Do you think that they don't have the ability to give themselves noses if they wanted to?
Well, I see
Sure.
I see two eyes and a slit of a mouth. I don't see any nose on there.
Again, sounds really wrong. Slit of a mouth. It just feels rude.
Well, then we should probably put it on a t-shirt.
Not feeling that one, Professor. Sorry.
It's just a Ditto, and it says good old mouth slit.
No.
No? Okay.
Don't feel like-
We'll
don't.
workshop it. Mr. Curse, Ditto can transform itself into anything. It can create a nose if it wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shut up.
Okay.
Moving on to the next entry. That's still in the Alola region. It says, while it can transform into anything, each Ditto apparently has its own strengths and weaknesses when it comes to transformations. Like maybe one Ditto can't quite get the eyes right, or one Ditto like keeps its mouth slit.
Yeah. Or it's just a little. It's the Charizard's a little too buff. Something like that.
Yeah, like it works out or something.
Yeah, like it turns into a Charizard that just can't quite melt everything with its mouth.
Not quite everything.
When
but
everybody
pretty close.
knows that Charizards don't get physically fit until they mega evolve.
Right, exactly. They don't lift, bro.
They don't live, bro. They're still stocky.
If you're ever fighting a Charizard and it can't melt the Pokemon you're fighting, then you know that you're fighting a Ditto.
It just hurts really, really bad. So while you're sitting there screaming in pain, you'd be like, "Oh, but this is probably a Ditto."
As a human, I would not fight the Pokemon myself. Sorry.
I just got
Coward.
burned really bad, but I'm not melted, so this must be a Ditto.
I'm still solid.
Yes, for now.
Okay, the last entry from the Alola region says it transforms into whatever it sees. If the thing it's transforming to isn't right in front of it, Ditto relies on its memory. So sometimes it fails.
No, yeah, we know that.
Same. It's okay to fail, Ditto.
That's all right. Yeah, I fail all the time, every day.
Every day, constantly.
Yep.
A lot of it in this class.
Well, I've been better.
All right, so that does it for the regional Pokedex entries. I actually have a lot of unique Pokedex entries here.
Oh,
this
hey,
one, so let me get into it.
Hey.
So first one comes to us from Ash's Pokedex. It says Ditto, a Transform Pokemon. It is able to rearrange the cells of its body and assume any form. Its only attack is Transform.
I mean, it's not really much of an attack, though.
Yeah, until it transforms, then it has the attacks of whatever Pokemon it transformed into. So
Right. I mean, again, transform is more of a move and less of an attack.
yeah, it's like more of a utility thing than it is like a direct attack. But it's kind of like an attack on like the senses of a Pokemon, maybe,
Yeah.
right? Because all of a sudden you're standing in front of yourself,
Yeah.
which can mess you up. Anyways, moving on. The next one comes to us from Dawn's Pokedex. It says Ditto, the Transform Pokemon. Ditto has the ability to reconstruct its entire cellular structure into whatever it sees.
All right.
and sometimes things that it doesn't see, whatever it can remember, right?
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the next one. It comes to us from unnamed Rotom Pokedex. It says, Ditto, the Transform Pokemon, a normal type. Ditto can rearrange their body's cells Ditto can rearrange their body's cells to change into other life forms.
Yeah, I mean, that's, again, nothing we haven't heard before.
And, life forms, but then other, things
Inanimate
as well.
objects, sure.
Like a
Yeah,
rock.
it's like a tree.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, the Pokedex entry isn't wrong, it's just incomplete, I would say.
Hold on. Could Ditto transform itself into a gun and just shoot other Pokemon?
Well, see, but then it would be breaking off chunks of itself, and I don't think that would be possible.
I don't know.
I don't know, but that's still a part of it. The bullet would still be a part of it.
Yeah, but they're separated now.
So, okay, say it transforms into a Dragapult, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it shoots one of the Dreepies out of its cannons. Is it shooting off part of itself?
But it turns into a Dragapult, and then it gets like Dreepies, then come to it and get it.
No. It creates Dreepies.
It creates the Dreepies. It's an extension of itself, kind of.
I don't know. I don't think.
I mean, it's a good question. It's a good, deep question to think about, Mr. Curtis. Like, where does it stuff go? Because, I mean, like, if it turns into a Charizard and it blows flames, are those flames part of itself?
No, they're real. They're real flames.
They're real flames.
Okay.
It transforms and has that ability now. It has those powers.
Okay, well, what about the water from a hydro cannon from a Blastoise that it turned into?
Real water. It can manufacture that water in its body because it's turned into the cell structure of a Blastoise.
Okay, well, but
Whoa.
I don't think the Blastoise doesn't create the water though.
So where does Blastoise get the water? That's the question.
I don't know. It doesn't answer. It doesn't
the
say
Ditto
in the Pokedex
Blastoise
entry.
gets it as a real Blastoise does.
P.
P.
Oh, okay. But still, it's not like it's generating that water. It gets the water from somewhere.
Right. I mean, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, this is the deep question, Mr. Curtis. Thank you for asking it. It's really given us a chance to really flex our brain muscles.
I don't know, my brain.
I am tired of flexing. Please move on.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the next unique entry. It's the last one. It comes to us from Go's Rotom Phone. It says, Ditto, the Transform Pokemon, a normal type. Altering every cell in its body, Ditto can transform into a perfect copy of many different Pokemon.
Except for when it's imperfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. All right, that does it for all the Pokedex entries on Ditto. I think we should go ahead and quickly move on to the testing portion of the lesson.
No!
Give me that.
I want to go home.
Quiz time.
Well, you can go home as soon as we finish. It's not a quiz. It's not a pop quiz. I know, I like pop quizzes too, but we gotta keep it fresh. We gotta keep it exciting. Today we're doing an essay question. All right, and I have.
Okay.
Okay. Well, all right. So the question I have for you today. Okay. Sorry, this classroom must be going through a tunnel because there's a crazy delay now.
Okay.
Sorry, stop saying okay. It's driving me crazy.
I'd like to go through a tunnel.
So many
honestly,
jokes I could say. I'm not going to.
Great. The restraint is appreciated.
Corbin, stop saying okay.
Okay.
Fine. All right. So this essay question, so it's just a long form question. I like to take something from the Pokedex entries that was touched on, but not really explained, so you guys could go into deeper detail on it. So the essay question is, why does laughing make Ditto revert back to its original form? So we mentioned that that's something that happens, and it's not really that it relaxes because we do know that it goes to sleep when it's transformed into a stone. So
right.
It's probably something different. Now, I would like to hear what my students have to say about that. So go ahead, take your time, and when you're ready, let me know. All right. So is everybody ready? I see everybody's put their pencils down. Corbin, I have asked you to put your phone away.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So who would like to read their essay first?
I'm feeling considerate today, so I think I'll give Curtis more time and I'll go first.
Oh, thank you.
That's so nice of you.
I'm only 3 pages in. I can't. I need more time. Thank you, Corbin.
Okay, sure. All right, so I am here to propose why exactly Ditto stops the transformation while it's laughing. And it's a very, very simple answer. I don't have a 3-page essay like Mr. Curtis does. Mine is very, very simple.
It's 4. It's 4 now.
It's 4? Oh, okay. I don't know why he's walking away. So
He's sharpening his pencil.
the reason that Ditto transforms back while it is laughing is simply because the lack of oxygen to its brain when it starts laughing. When you laugh in and out, there are periods of, you're not technically breathing, like you're expelling air, but you're also, not breathing during that. And during that time, especially if it's like a really, really hard laughter and you're wheezing, you're keeled over, wheezing, you're not really breathing. And if you make a Ditto laugh really, really hard, it's going to stop breathing for a moment, which is going to make it lose focus. It needs, it has a brain, right? Most Pokemon do. It's a living organism. It has a brain, I think. And it needs oxygen for the brain to function. If it's losing oxygen to that brain, if you've ever been working out before and you lose oxygen, you're going to black out. It's kind of like that. Like if Ditto's laughing really hard.
I'm sorry, can you put it into a more nerdy analogy for me? I've never worked out in my life.
Sorry. Sometimes I watch the Machokes at the school, working out at the school gym, and it just kind of reminded me of that.
We have a gym?
We have a gym. We do have a gym. Yeah, that was the one thing that was new that they did build after the Kangaskhan attack, thanks to Mr. Curtis. So, Mr. Curtis, you're the reason we have a gym. So that's one good thing that came out of that.
Yes, thank you.
So the lack of oxygen.
Wait, that wasn't
them
me.
To lose
I
focus.
had nothing to do with that.
Shut up. the lack of oxygen causes the ability to lose focus. And obviously, they need oxygen for their brain to function and maintain the transformed state that they're in. That's it.
That was pretty good. That was an interesting hypothesis there, Corbin. It did kind of feel a little bit less like an essay and more like a free-form flow of thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
There.
No, that was an essay.
Okay, if you say so.
Believe it.
You didn't just have a rough outline written down, and you didn't just kind of wing it part of the way through.
Nope. Had it all written down. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, I believe you. But yeah, very, very interesting idea, Corbin. Full marks for you. Let's move on to Mr. Curtis and see what he has to say.
Well, thank you, Professor, and thank you, Corbin, for providing that interesting theory. Okay, so
yes.
Sarcasm.
I'm incapable of such a thing. I don't know what you're talking about. All right. So laughing causes Ditto to transform back into its original form because to save itself from social awkwardness. The transformation is actually an involuntary reflex. Just like when humans have their leg hit in the knee, and their foot kicks forward. Now why is this
when our leg kicks forward, right, Mr. Curtis?
Right, yeah. When us humans have
all of us here humans.
That's right. Have their leg hit with the little hammer on the knee. You know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, it goes. Yeah,
I don't usually hammer other people's knees, but yeah.
Anyway, now why is this the case? You see, Ditto, like most people, laugh sometimes when something is awkward happens. So when Ditto
something is awkward happens, yeah.
When something awkward happens, yeah. So when Ditto is at a party with other Pokemon, and maybe it's transforming into other Pokemon or random items. To impress its fellow party goaters,
sure, as a party trick,
goaters
as a party trick while it does that, right? If it accidentally spooks another Pokemon and that Pokemon has a bad reaction, Ditto's nervous laugh will cause it to instantly turn back to normal. This is because Ditto has to make a concerted effort to transform, and in the moment it may not know what to do right away. So basically, that what do I do? I get a little nervous. Like, haha, oh, that's unfortunate, and instantly right back. So basically, it is to save itself from social awkwardness. Thank you very much.
But
I'm confused.
I'm a little bit confused too. So okay, so it laughs. Wait.
So it laughs because it's
How
embarrassed?
does transforming back into a Ditto save it from the social awkwardness?
Well, it transformed into something, and whatever it's transformed into caused a bad reaction in its crowd. So it wants to get away from that form. But in the moment, it might be like, oh, I'm not really sure what to do. So instead of like having to intentionally think about, okay, what am I going to transform to now to kind of save myself? It just gives a little awkward laugh and instantly turns back to normal. So whatever the issue was at the time is resolved and it's gone.
Ooh, you stretched that one. You stretched that one like a Ditto trying to be a whale lord, Mr. Curtis.
I interpret it more as like the actual physical act of laughing. Like what's the scientific reason behind why it transforms back?
Well, I mean, Mr. Curtis can be seen as that as well, I think.
Well,
True.
the scientific part of this is it's an involuntary reflex, just like when I smack your knee.
Don't
with the
smack
hair-
my knee, please. Stay away. No.
like that.
Professor, he assaulted me.
That's weird. You didn't turn back into a Ditto. I guess.
I'm
You're
not a
Corbin.
Ditto.
All right. You know what? I like the idea that it's an involuntary reflex. I think we might need to try to like reconfigure what it might be an involuntary reflex to, though, Mr. Curtis.
Well, I mean, you don't like to be awkward at parties, so. But I mean, I guess you're not
True,
familiar.
but there's
I know-
other reasons to
You
laugh.
guys go to parties?
But I guess you're not familiar with that, Professor, because you're never awkward. You're so cool.
Yeah, sure. I'm never awkward. There isn't recorded evidence of me being awkward.
No, that hasn't happened.
That maybe, I don't know, releases weekly. Wednesdays around 9 a.m.
Nah.
I think Portia edits all that out, so I think you're good.
Oh, thank you. Maybe she'll be nice to edit this out too.
She's not that nice.
Anyways, I'm giving you the points, Mr. Curtis. Obviously, Corbin, you get the points as well. Very good answers, very interesting. I think we can all say we learned a little something about Ditto today. What do you guys think?
I think so.
You know what? I really did. Yes.
Well, that's gonna wrap up our lesson today. Does anybody know who we're talking about next week?
Oh, another Pokemon that transforms into anything. Eevee.
Whoa! Wow! Yes!
Wow.
Very, very good, Corbin. We are learning about Eevee. Now, I will say it can't transform into anything, though. So
Okay.
it's not like Ditto, but it can transform into a lot of different things. So be looking forward to that next week. Until then, if you would like to contact me or any of my students / teaching assistants here, you can do so via Gengar Mail, via the Flying Pokemon themed social network site Twitter. You can also do it through Patreon if you would like, and the Discord. You can find links to all of those things in our description, but it's generally under like WWO Pokemon as the common username.
Handle. Yeah.
Handle. Yeah, that's a good tech term to use.
Thanks.
And also, you can give us a rating on Flapple Podcast or Spotify. But honestly, the best way for us to get more students involved in the class, to get a larger class, is just word of mouth. If you enjoy this lesson and you really want other people to enjoy it with you, tell them, talk to them about it. That's we don't advertise this class in any way, so the best way for us to get the word out is via word of mouth. And
I mean,
we would,
especially when except for when I stand on the street corner and I yell really loud, "Listen to the class!"
What are you yelling with, Mr. Curtis?
On my mouth.
Ah.
Yes.
So it's still word of mouth there in that situation.
Ah.
All right, but this lesson has gone on long enough, so thank you all for being here, and until next time, class is dismissed. Welcome to the World of Pokemon is a part of the Pokecasters Network.